It's not chaos, it's a system. And unless you understand this hidden architecture, you'll keep mistaking your inner war for external problems, blaming circumstances, people, or bad luck, never realizing the battle is taking place inside your own mind and soul. Your subconscious is not just a storage bin for forgotten memories or childhood trauma. It's far more profound than that. It is the unseen part of you, the part that operates without your conscious awareness, influencing your thoughts, feelings, behaviors, dreams, fears, and decisions every day. It holds every experience you've ever had, every belief you've inherited, every suppressed emotion you never dealt with, and every desire you were taught to be ashamed of. Jung called it the shadow, the dark side of the self that we reject, deny, and avoid. But here's the irony. What we avoid does not disappear. It controls us from the dark. When you keep reliving the same painful patterns in relationships, careers, or self-image, this is not fate. It is your subconscious repeating what was never healed. It may sound counterintuitive, but Jung insisted that we need the subconscious not just to understand our pain, but to find meaning. Pain is not the enemy, it is the messenger. The subconscious holds the blueprint of our personal evolution. Every fear, every trauma, every emotional wound is stored there, not to punish us, but to guide us back to the parts of ourselves we've lost. Without the subconscious, we would never dream, never intuit, never feel that something deeper is calling us. It gives us the raw material for transformation, the same way fire purifies gold. It makes us uncomfortable so that we're forced to look within. And what we find there, if we're courageous enough, is not just darkness, but truth, potential, and purpose. Imagine there's a stranger following you around your entire life, whispering thoughts, pushing buttons, influencing your choices, sabotaging your happiness, and you don't even realize it's happening. That stranger is your shadow self. It's made up of all the parts of you that you were told were wrong, too much, or not enough. Maybe it's your anger. Maybe it's your ambition. Maybe it's your vulnerability, or your desire for love, or your capacity for sadness. You pushed it all down to survive. But those repressed parts didn't vanish. They became fuel for your subconscious. And until you turn around and meet this stranger face to face, it will keep controlling your story. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So much of your pain isn't because you're broken, it's because you've never been taught how to face the hidden parts of yourself with honesty and compassion. Ever wonder why you keep attracting the same kind of people, the same arguments, the same failures, no matter how much you try to change your life on the surface? This is your subconscious calling you back to what is unfinished. It's not punishment, it's repetition with a purpose. Your psyche is looping these painful experiences because it's trying to force you to wake up, to look at what you're ignoring within. If you fear abandonment, you might unconsciously sabotage relationships to prove your fear was justified. If you were never seen as a child, you might chase validation in self-destructive ways. Until the wound is acknowledged, your subconscious will repeat the pattern like a broken record, begging you to do the one thing you've never done. Listen to the pain instead of running from it. Healing doesn't begin when life becomes easier. It begins when you finally ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? The subconscious doesn't change through willpower or logic alone. It transforms through awareness, integration, and emotional honesty. Jung believed in a process called individuation, the journey of integrating your conscious self with your unconscious material, uniting the ego with the shadow, and becoming whole. This means not just identifying what's hidden, but embracing it. You begin to reparent yourself, give love to the parts of you that were rejected, challenge the stories you inherited, and allow your authentic self to emerge. Dreams become messengers. Triggers become clues. You journal, reflect, meditate, observe, and question until one day you realize you're no longer ruled by the same old patterns. You have begun to rewrite the script, not by rejecting the subconscious, but by forming a relationship with it. The pain doesn't vanish, it evolves. It becomes wisdom. Jung didn't see suffering as meaningless. In fact, he believed that confronting and transforming your inner darkness is what gives life spiritual depth. The subconscious isn't just a psychological concept, it's a gateway to the soul. When you face your inner demons, you don't just heal your mind, you awaken something timeless inside you. The pain that once crushed you becomes the material from which your higher self is born. This is inner alchemy, the process of turning emotional lead into gold. Through shadow work, reflection, and deep inner exploration, you realize that your suffering had meaning. It was the initiation. The wound is where the light enters. And as you become more conscious, more whole, and more self-aware, you begin to live not from fear, but from authenticity, purpose, and truth. Your life no longer feels like a punishment. It becomes a profound and personal quest for inner wholeness. In the end, the most profound and transformative insight that Jungian philosophy offers us is this: you are not broken, not inherently flawed, not fundamentally wrong, and certainly not beyond redemption. Rather, you are simply unaware, unconscious, of the vast and rich inner world that resides within you, a world that has been largely shaped, silenced, and often suppressed by cultural conditioning, personal trauma, ancestral legacy, and the invisible yet powerful collective unconscious in which we are all embedded. Your pain, those aching wounds that seem to revisit you time and again in different forms, through relationships, emotional triggers, inner conflicts, or existential despair, are not arbitrary. They are not punishments nor evidence of weakness. They are, in the Jungian sense, messages from your psyche, like dreams sent from the deep sea of your soul, speaking in the symbolic language of suffering. Each repeated pattern, each fear you cannot explain, each emotional reaction that feels disproportionate, they are all attempts by the self, the deeper totality of your being, to alert you that something within remains unseen, unheard, unintegrated. They are signs that there is more to you than what you consciously know.